They told me I was chosen, but they never told me chosen people don't always survive what they're chosen for. This didn't start in a hospital. It started with a signature. It looked simple. Ink on paper. A way out of everything I was running from. Debt, struggle, invisibility.
This changes your life.
And if I say no?
Then nothing changes.
Okay.
The night I signed that contract, I thought I was stepping into a better life. I didn't realize I was stepping into something designed long before I arrived. The gates closed behind me that day. Slow, heavy, final. And something inside me closed with them. The house was beautiful. Too perfect. Too still. Not the kind of place you live in. The kind of place you're kept in. The silence wasn't peaceful. It was controlled. Every step I took echoed, like it was being recorded. Every hallway stretched too long, like it didn't want you to find your way back. Tell me, how much freedom would you trade just to feel safe? At first, it didn't feel wrong. Just structured, just organized, just different. But then the rules came. No visitors, no calls, no leaving without permission. And suddenly, comfort started to feel like confinement. But by then, I was already inside. That first night, I lay in a bed that wasn't mine, in a room that didn't know my name. The moonlight came through the blinds like it was trying to reach me, but even the light felt filtered here. Controlled. I stared at the ceiling and told myself this was temporary, that I would do what was asked, take what was promised, and leave. But something in the silence told me otherwise. Something I couldn't name yet. Every door had a purpose. Every purpose had a limit. And I was beginning to realize I was one of them. They examined me like I was something rare. Not valuable, rare. Like something fragile. Something that needed to be preserved, not understood.
We selected you because of your condition.
You are untouched, and that's necessary. Necessary for what?
They didn't care who I was. They cared about what I hadn't done, what I hadn't become. My purity wasn't personal. It was functional, necessary. And that word, necessary, it stayed with me. Because nothing that requires that level of control comes without a cost. Days blurred into routines, tests, meals, silence. No questions, no explanations, just repetition. And repetition has a way of wearing you down. Until you stop resisting. Until you start adapting. I ate alone at a table built for 12. I walked hallways that led nowhere. I sat through examinations where no one spoke to me, only about me. And slowly, I began to forget what my own choices felt like. Then I saw her. She wasn't introduced. She wasn't explained. She just existed, like a shadow that belonged to the house more than I ever could. She looked at me like she already knew how my story ended, like she had seen it before. And maybe she had, because the way she spoke, it wasn't warning. It was recognition. That's when things began to change. I started noticing details. The way doors
Madam
locked
needs
behind
rest.
me without sound.
But I need to see her. Not now. She must not be disturbed. Let go of me.
The way the staff avoided my eyes. The way silence followed me, but never left. And then I saw it. The red light. Watching. Blinking. Breathing. That's when I understood something I couldn't unsee. Silence isn't empty when it's observing you. If you noticed what I noticed, would you stay? Or would you run? I tried to leave, Just once. A door that looked ordinary. A hallway that felt familiar. But nothing here was accidental. Nothing here was open. The house didn't trap you by force. It trapped you by design.
Don't do that again.
Fear doesn't always scream. Sometimes it survives quietly, passed from one person to another, without being seen. The note was small, almost nothing, but it carried more truth than everything they had told me. You are not the first. And just like that, everything changed. They weren't building something new. They were repeating something old, something that had already failed. More than once, I needed to know, even if knowing destroyed me. The room wasn't meant to be found. But fear has a way of guiding you toward truth. The files were cold, organized, final, faces I had never seen, but somehow recognized, because they looked like me. Not identical, but close enough to understand what connected us. They all started the same way I did, and they all ended the same way. Failed. That word was everywhere, like a warning, like a verdict, like a promise. They weren't trying to create life. They were trying to control it. And suddenly, I wasn't special. I was next. Truth doesn't set you free. Not when you're already inside it. He didn't deny it. That was the worst part. No guilt. No hesitation. Just logic. Calm.
What is this?
Precise. Certain. Like everything had already been decided. Progress requires sacrifice. In that moment, I understood something I wish I didn't. I was never meant to leave. And then I went back to her. Because I thought she was like me. Trapped. Broken. Waiting. But I was wrong. Some cages aren't forced. Some are chosen. The way she looked at me, it wasn't pity. It was acceptance. She believed in this. She believed in them. And that was more terrifying than anything he had said. Because if she believed, then this wasn't an accident. It was intention.
Please, help me. You still think I'm a victim? I chose this. We're building something beyond nature, and you're perfect for it.
I tried to fight, tried to hold on to something, anything that felt like control. But systems like that don't break. They don't panic. They don't react. They absorb. Slowly, quietly, completely. And before you realize it, you're no longer resisting. You're part of it. They called it a miracle, a breakthrough, a future. But as the machines came alive around me, I felt something deeper than fear. Understanding. The kind that comes too late. Because I finally saw the truth clearly. This was never about carrying life. It was about becoming something else. Something designed. Something controlled. Something that doesn't get to choose. They told me I was chosen. But they never told me. Chosen doesn't mean saved. Chosen doesn't mean special. Chosen means selected. And I was selected because I could survive it. Not as myself, but as something else. And as everything faded, as the silence finally took over, one truth remained. They didn't just take my body, they rewrote my purpose. And somewhere between the machines, the silence, and the surrender, I disappeared. Not all at once, but piece by piece,
It's working.
until there was nothing left to fight with, nothing left to remember who I was, only what I had become. And maybe that's the real horror. Not that they chose me, but that I stayed long enough to become exactly what they needed. So tell me, if you were given the same choice, the same promise, the same quiet lie dressed as hope, would you walk away? Or would you sign your name and step inside? Because some doors don't lock behind you, they change you. And by the time you realize it, you're no longer trying to escape. Woo. You're trying to understand why you ever wanted to. If this story made you feel something, if even a part of it stayed with you, then you already understand more than you think. Stay with us. There are more stories like this. More truths hidden in silence. More questions without easy answers. Subscribe and don't miss what comes next.